Former California Rep. Darrell Issa, who is running for re-election, believes President Trump is one of the most prepared people to lead the nation during the coronavirus pandemic. One America's John Hines spoke to Issa and has more on this report.
Why is it that an organization like the WHO seemed to be so slow in sounding the alarm, particularly with regard to what information they may have apparently had from China?
You know, you could say WHO and you could say United Nations, because when I visited Geneva some years ago, I visited both. No surprise. They're really joined at the hip in Switzerland and in the way the Swiss think as a global organization, representing everyone, lobbying for no one, protecting everyone's privileges to not cooperate. That's kind of the way the UN works. It's certainly the way the WHO works. What we need to do is we need to no longer provide billions of dollars to them if that's going to be the outcome. If the CDC has to do the work, then there's no reason for the WHO.
Is there a balance? I think the president is trying to kind of back into this argument or back into this sort of reasoning. When is the point where you can start to open things up? And where is that balance? What are the data points that you're looking at when we can begin to make that transition back to getting people back to work and over the coronavirus, perhaps a little bit?
As a businessman, the first thing I would say is that we've defined essential businesses based on a 14-day window. We understand that, grocery stores are essential every day. Maintenance of your automobile, the places to repair a car, they're important every day. It's a real-time problem. But as the weeks go on, many things that are not currently considered essential will become essential. It appears as though we have overshot, if you will, our conservative nature. If prediction that we may only have 60,000 fatalities, that we've already bent the curve, and outside of New York bent it a lot, what it might mean is that we have shut down the economy perhaps more than we should have in retrospect. And particularly when you look and say, for everyone who can go back to work safely, and we'll call that 99% safely, we reduce this 20% unemployment that we currently have, 20+% unemployment, by a point. Those points are worth $1 trillion a year. Just 5% of our workforce represents more than $1 trillion of money per year. So a small difference, getting 5% of the workforce back to work, could represent half of what we've spent so far subsidizing not being at work.
Does the president understand this, do you think? Is he trying to make this argument?
We're very lucky. We have probably the best president we could have had in 240 years, with the possible exception of George Washington, who was a very successful businessman in his time. But we have somebody who really understands business. He understands it not just in the businesses he was in, but when he was doing The Apprentice for so many years, he really became a student of commerce. And I think that gives us a real advantage, that he knows we have to get back to work, but quite candidly, he's not a physician. So he's got to push back on scientists and physicians who are giving him ever-changing numbers. He can't push back so that too many people die, but he can't allow doctors to keep us in bed until the muscles that let us get out of bed atrophy.
Darrell Issa, thank you for talking to us on One America News. It's a pleasure to talk to you again, Congressman Issa.
Anytime. Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.